In 1971, a married couple sat down to write a song for themselves. They didn't know it would become the most translated hymn in gospel music history, sung in nearly every language on earth, played at funerals, weddings, and hospital bedsides, and voted one of the most requested songs to ever appear in a hymnal. They weren't trying to write a hit. They were trying to survive a season that felt like it was falling apart. This is the story behind Because He Lives. To understand this song, you have to understand the world it was born into. It was the tail end of the 1960s, sliding into 1970. America was in turmoil. The Vietnam War dominated headlines. Cities were tense with racial conflict. The counterculture's drug scene was exploding. And in universities and pulpits alike, a philosophy known as the God is dead movement was spreading, the idea that religious faith no longer had a place in modern life. Into this chaos stepped Bill and Gloria Gaither, a young songwriting couple from Alexandria, Indiana. Bill had been an English and journalism teacher. Gloria taught French and English at the very same high school. They fell in love, married in 1962, and by 1967 had left teaching behind to write and perform music full-time. But by 1970, their personal life was in just as much turmoil as the country around them. Bill had come down with mononucleosis and was physically drained. A family member close to them was going through a painful divorce, and someone they cared about had turned on them, hurling harsh accusations at their faith, their community, and even the existence of God itself. And in the middle of all that, Gloria was pregnant with their third child. Gloria later described this period candidly. Bringing a new life into a world that felt this uncertain seemed on paper like a strange decision. Who wants to raise a baby in a world that seems to be collapsing? But something shifted. Gloria began quietly turning over a phrase in her mind, a line borrowed in spirit from an old hymn she loved, one that proclaimed simply that Christ lives today. She began reworking that idea into something that could speak to ordinary people living ordinary, difficult lives. Bill took the hook to Gloria, an assurance that because Jesus lives, fear could lose its grip and tomorrow could be faced without dread. Gloria built out the rest of the lyric from there, a declaration that knowing Christ holds the future is what makes life worth living. Gloria would later say that the moment the nurse placed their newborn son in her arms was an aha moment. They realized something that would become the emotional center of the song. People don't get married, build a home, and have children because the world is stable. The world has never been stable. Faith and hope don't depend on the news cycle calming down. They depend on something else entirely. That realization, that confidence for the future could be rooted in the resurrection of Jesus rather than in the state of the world, became the heart of the song's second verse. When their son Benji was born, the very first thing they wrote was actually the second verse of the song, inspired directly by that dark New Year's Eve. How sweet to hold a newborn baby and feel the pride and joy he gives, but greater still the calm assurance, this child can face uncertain days because he lives. Bill named the tune Resurrection, and around that second verse, they built a chorus that has since echoed in churches, living rooms, and even funerals all across the world for over 50 years. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. And only afterward wrote the first verse, which lays out the gospel story of Jesus' life, death, and resurrection, and the third verse, which looks ahead to eternity. Bill composed the music. Gloria shaped the words. And what started as something deeply private, a song they mainly wrote to reassure themselves, became Because He Lives. It was released on October 18, 1971, as the title track of an album by the Bill Gaither Trio, which at the time included Bill, Gloria, and Bill's brother Danny. Neither of them expected much from it. Bill has said plainly that when you write as many songs as they did, you never really know which ones will last and which will quietly fade away. This one didn't fade. Because He Lives was named Gospel Song of the Year in 1974 by the Gospel Music Association. It found its way into hymnals across denominations, including as hymn number 364 in the United Methodist Hymnal, where editor Carlton Young later called it one of the 5 most requested songs for inclusion. But its real impact showed up in letters. The Gaithers began receiving mail from people around the world telling them how the song had carried them through the hardest seasons of their lives: grief, illness, uncertainty, loss. We look at the world today and honestly, it doesn't look that different from 1970. There is still sickness, still division, still a million reasons to sit in the dark and panic about the future. But the Gaithers left us a reminder that our hope isn't tied to the evening news. It's tied to an empty tomb. Because when we believe that Jesus lives, we can face any circumstance with hope and complete assurance. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it encouraging. Our mission is to inspire hearts and point people to the truth and the life found in Christ Jesus. If this video blessed you, please consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss more stories, testimonies, and faith-building content. And if you think someone else would be encouraged by this message, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.